Hello and welcome to News at 10 on Rajya Sabha TV. I am Aishwarya Kapoor. Well, after a day-long debate on Kashmir issue in Rajya Sabha yesterday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will hold talks with all political parties on the unrest in the valley on Friday. That is the big focus today. Also, some cheer for India at the Rio Olympics with boxer Manoj Kumar and also two of India's women archers entering the pre-quarterfinals of their individual events. We'll get to all the details on that as well. Let us begin with other top stories in the headlines. Rajya Sabha passes unanimous resolution expressing concern over the situation in Kashmir. Home Minister Rajnath Singh rules out any dialogue with Pakistan on the issue. Government to convene all-party meet on the 12th of this month. NIA says Kashmir unrest being orchestrated by Pakistan-based Lashkar-e-Toiba, releases confessional video of captured terrorist Bahadur Ali. Rajya Sabha Chairman Mohammad Hamid Ansari takes strong objection to delay in tabling of Standing Committee reports, directs government to take corrective action. Pro-government forces in Libya captured Sirte from Islamic State over a year after it fell into the terrorist hands, says it is a major victory in push to jihadists from the city. And archery and boxing lift India's spirits at the Rio Olympics. Archer duo Bombila Devi and Deepika Kumari advanced into the pre-quarters. Boxer Manoj Kumar also stuns ex-Olympic bronze medalist to enter the pre-quarters. Well, Rajya Sabha on Wednesday passed a unanimous resolution expressing concern over the situation in Kashmir and resolving to solve the issue through dialogue. Home Minister Rajnath Singh also reiterated that Kashmir is an integral part of India and that there cannot be any dialogue with Pakistan on it. The government has also decided to convene an all-party meet on the issue tomorrow.
कश्मीर घाटी में लंबे समय से चली आ रही अशांत, हिंसा और कर्फ्यू की स्थिति के प्रति यह सभा अपनी गंभीर चिंता व्यक्त करती है। यह सभा बिगड़ती हुई स्थिति के कारण होने वाली मौतों तथा घायल लोगों के प्रति गहरी संवेदना और चिंता व्यक्त करती है। इस सभा का दृढ़ और सुविचारित मत है कि जहां एक ओर राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा से कोई समझौता नहीं किया जा सकता, वहीं दूसरी ओर यह भी अनिवार्य है कि सामान्य स्थिति और शांति बहाल करने के लिए तत्काल कदम उठाए जाएं, ताकि लोगों की वेदनाएं दूर की जा सकें।
After a marathon discussion on the Kashmir issue, the upper house passed a unanimous resolution expressing concern over the situation, resolving to solve the issue through dialogue.
May I take that this resolution is unanimously adopted? Yes. The resolution is adopted unanimously.
Earlier, responding to the discussion, which went on for almost 8 hours, the Home Minister blamed Pakistan for the tense situation in the valley and reiterated that Kashmir is an integral part of India.
सदन के जो भी विचार हमने सुने और उनकी फीलिंग्स को जो हमने समझा है, उनकी भावनाओं को जो हमने समझा है, मैं उस आधार पर और सभी के द्वारा जो ताकत मिली है, उस आधार पर मैं कह सकता हूं, डिप्टी चेयरमैन सर, कि दुनिया की कोई ताकत हमसे जम्मू कश्मीर को नहीं ले सकती। बातचीत का जहां तक सवाल है कि पाकिस्तान से बात होनी चाहिए, अरे बात होगी तो कश्मीर पर बात नहीं होगी डिप्टी चेयरमैन सर, पाक अधिकृत कश्मीर पर बात होगी, कश्मीर पर बात नहीं होगी।
Responding to the demand for a ban on the use of pellet guns, Rajnath Singh informed the House that a committee has been set up to look into the issue and forces have been asked to exercise restraint.
कि नॉन लेथल वेपन्स के दूसरे ऑप्शंस क्या हो सकते हैं, इस पर भी विचार होना चाहिए। और तुरंत मैंने आते ही एक्सपर्ट्स की एक कमेटी बना दी थी और मैंने कहा था कि 2 महीने के अंदर वो अपनी रिपोर्ट दे देंगे। फोर्सेस के जितने जवान घायल हुए हैं उनका नंबर है 4515 और सिविलियंस जो घायल हुए हैं उनका नंबर है 3356। यह जो निर्देश सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस के जवानों को मिला कि जितना ही संयम बरत सकते हो उतना संयम बरतें, जल्दी पेलेट गन का भी प्रयोग न करें। यही परिणाम है कि सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस जो इंजर्ड हुए हैं वो 4,500 से अधिक है।
The government has also decided to convene an all-party meet on this issue on the last day of the monsoon session.
हम लोगों ने तय किया है कि जिस दिन 12 तारीख को सदन समाप्त होगा तो 12 बजे के आसपास ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग होगी जिसमें प्रधानमंत्री जी स्वयं मौजूद रहेंगे। देखते हैं वहाँ के सीएम से भी बात करेंगे कि यदि डेलीगेशन जाता है कभी तो किन किन लोगों से मिलेगा, किन के साथ उसकी बातचीत होगी, या ग्राउंड वर्क के बारे में उनके साथ हम बातचीत करेंगे।
The Home Minister also listed the steps taken by the state government to ensure that the people in the valley had access to basic facilities during the curfew and violence. With Vishal Daya, Bureau Inputs, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, in related news, the National Investigative Agency has revealed that Pakistan-based Lashkar-e-Toiba is behind the unrest in Kashmir. The agency said that arrested Pakistani terror suspect Bahadur Ali was regularly guided by the control room of the terror groups with the help of Pakistani forces. The agency also released a confession video. The NIA's comments came a day after India issued a démarche to Pakistan over its continued support to cross-border terrorism in the country.
In a major breakthrough, the National Investigation Agency revealed Pakistan's role in instigating terrorism in India. On Wednesday, it released a confessional video of LAT terrorist and Pakistani national Bahadur Ali, who admitted that he was guided by terrorist groups in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir with the help of Pakistani forces.
Taking this point, Bahadur Ali further disclosed that he is part of a big group of terrorists who have been infiltrated into India by Lashkar-e-Toiba to carry out terror attacks in India. He stated that a group of 4 terrorists are also moving in the area to execute an attack in a village called Manibal.
Addressing the media, the NIA said the arms and ammunition training given to Ali conclusively proved the involvement of military experts.
Bahadur Ali was member of one of such groups who was directed to take advantage of the current situation in Kashmir and throw grenades by mixing into the crowd. Another very, very important point, arms, ammunition and equipments which you can see recovered from terrorists established involvement of military experts. When I say established, that means we have concrete evidence.
The investigating agency also informed that Ali crossed into the Indian site either on 11th or 12th of June along with 2 LAT cadres.
During communications with Bahadur Ali, when Bahadur Ali was talking to Alpha 3, he was there in India for almost, like before being captured, he was here for almost a month. So he used to talk to him continuously. So during his conversations, Alpha 3, the person who used to man Alpha 3, had told him that Lashkar-e-Toiba cadres had been successful in fueling large-scale disturbance in Kashmir after Eid, subsequent to the death of Burhan Wani in Kashmir.
Pakistan, however, rejected India's charge of abetting infiltration in Kashmir. On Tuesday, India summoned and handed over a strong démarche to Pakistani envoy Abdul Basit over its continued support to cross-border terrorism. Terrorist Bahadur Ali was arrested during an encounter in Kupwara by security forces on July 26 in North Kashmir. A special NIA court remanded Ali into National Investigation Agency's custody for 12 days. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Moving on in the bulletin now, well, Rajya Sabha Chairman Mohammad Hamid Ansari has taken offence to extended delays in the tabling of standing committee reports. Now, reacting to the tabling of a report after lapse of 14 years, the chairman asked the government to take corrective action to ensure that reports are placed before Parliament in a timely manner. Now, the directive was issued after Congress member Madhusudan Mistry pointed out that there was a delay of 14 years in laying the report of the Commission of Scheduled Tribes. Mistry said that he was not pointing at the minister for the lapse, but about the system that is in place.
2002-2004 report has been presented today in the House. This House has a right to know how the Commission of Scheduled Tribes is functioning.
I think it is a very desirable practice for reports of commissions to be laid in a timely manner. This is not the first instance this matter has been brought to the notice of the House. I think it is in the interest of everyone for the government to take corrective action in this matter.
News from Lok Sabha, where a bill seeking enhancement of working overtime hours up to 100 per quarter was passed by the Lok Sabha despite objections by the opposition members. Now, the government says that the bill is the need of the hour as large number of workforce is needed, keeping into account the government's Make in India, Skill India and Digital India initiatives.
I thank all the honourable members.
Seeking to boost job creation in the manufacturing sector and facilitate ease of doing business, the Lok Sabha on Wednesday approved the Factories Amendment Bill 2016, which seeks to maximize the limit of overtime hours from 50 hours to 100 hours per quarter. Introducing the bill, Labour Minister Bandaru Dattatreya said the changes in the law would enable workers to work more and earn more. While the proposal to increase overtime hours will not be mandatory, Dattatreya said that the total number of work hours in the day will not exceed 10 hours and total work hours in a week after including overtime should not exceed 60.
It is an incentive to get the double wages. We are going with innovative methods, number one. And our main focus is employment generation. And in this employment generation, you are well aware, large number of migrant workers and seasonal workers, they will get additional employment.
Raising objections, the opposition said that the bill was being brought at the behest of the industry and was encroaching upon the rights of the states. The bill was passed after Congress and left parties staged a walkout.
इमरजेंसी के लिए वो सेक्शन दिया गया है, लेकिन आप पे सब जो लेबर हित में जो कानून थे या सेक्शंस थे, उस सबको छोड़ के ये ला रहे हैं, ये ठीक नहीं है, इससे वर्कर का नुकसान होगा.
Kindly do not bring this bill, and this is the bill. It's a new process, new idea, new innovation of this present central government, that is Modi government, to interfere with the federal structure of this country. This is hitting the federal structure. Therefore, I say this is an anti-labor bill. It is an amounts to interference with the federal structures of this country.
He has done it on the demand of industry. Sir, India is a welfare state. Are you going to look at the demand of the industry or also going to look at the welfare of the people and the welfare of the state, sir, as a whole? And hence, in these circumstances, I would urge upon the Honourable Minister, sir, please do take cognizance of this serious problem like I have enumerated in the country and bring in a holistic approach to sort out the problem.
For the satisfaction of the Adani and Ambani like this, the corporate bosses have made displeasure with this government that for the last 2 years you are talking about bringing a Factories Act, but you could not be able to bring one consolidated Factories Act.
The bill also empowers the central government, in addition to the state governments, to make exempting rules in respect of total number of working hours on overtime in a quarter. The current rules provide for overtime of 50 hours in a quarter, while the International Labour Organization has prescribed the upper limit of 144 hours. With Pranav Goswami, this is Ravindra Shiran's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Time for a very short break. Up next, we have all the international and sports news. Stay tuned.
Life after death was a cardinal belief in the Harappan civilization. Reflecting this is the skeleton of a middle-aged woman with gold bangles. Excavated from Rakhigadi in Haryana, it's an example of the burial practices in those times. Much like the Egyptian mummies, vessels, eatables, ornaments were kept near the dead body, in the hope that they would be of use to the person in the next world.
Welcome back. On to some international news. And forces loyal to Libya's recognized government claimed another victory over Islamic State on Wednesday, saying that they have seized control of the headquarters of the terrorist group in Sirte. Now, the Islamic State had turned Ouagadougou Conference Center into their local headquarters, but the government forces claim to have captured this conference center after fierce fighting. At least 3 Libyan soldiers were killed, while the Islamic State was said to have lost at least 20 of its men. However, Islamic State fighters are still holding positions in the residential areas of Sirte and in a villa complex near the seafront. Sirte on the Mediterranean coast is Islamic State's most significant stronghold in Libya. The city has been under the militant group's control since February last year. In recent weeks, Libyan forces, with the help of US airstrikes, have launched an offensive designed to break IS grip on the Sirte. The US has estimated that Islamic's 1,000 fighters left in the city now. News from the Middle East, and the doctors in the rebel-held east of the Syrian city of Aleppo have urged the US president to come to the aid of the 250,000 civilians living there. Now, a letter signed by 29 physicians to US President Barack Obama warns that if attacks on medical facilities continue at the present rate, there could be none left within a month. It calls on Obama to impose a no-fly zone over Aleppo to stop the airstrikes. Meanwhile, Russia announced a halt of all the military action, air and artillery strikes for 3 hours each day from Thursday to let aid into Aleppo. However, the United Nations says that 3 hours would be insufficient to help millions who are in need and appeal for a 48-hour pause. Remember, fighting has escalated in recent days after rebels recently broke a government-imposed siege of the ravaged city. Russian and government planes are targeting rebel positions in the city's south.
Наиболее тревожная обстановка сложилась на юго-западных подступах к Алеппо, где в течение последней недели террористы создали группировку численностью около 7 тысяч боевиков, имеющих на вооружении танки, боевые машины пехоты, артиллерию и автомобили с установленным на них вооружением.
Any proposals are being made to enable access for humanitarian supplies to reach people in need, we will have those discussions at whatever level and wherever they exist. However the access is made available, it is not appropriate, nor would you expect the United Nations and indeed humanitarian partners who are not part of the United Nations but part of the broad supply chain for humanitarian goods and for getting evacuees with medical needs out. We are absolutely neutral, independent and impartial.
Let's get to some more international news in World Wrap. 8 people have been killed and many others were injured after Kurdish PKK rebels carried out 2 bomb attacks on police vehicles in the mainly Kurdish town southeast of Turkey. While 3 people died in town of Kiziltepe, 5 were massacred in Diyarbakir in the car bomb blast. Clashes between Turkey's security forces and the PKK resumed last year, ending a ceasefire. Since then, southeast Turkey has seen its worst violence in 20 years. Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton has said Donald Trump incited violence when he said that gun rights supporters could stop her from winning. Clinton also said that Trump did not have the temperament to be the president. Earlier, Trump had caused backlash after suggesting a Second Amendment people or the gun owners could take action against Hillary Clinton. Officials say that Vietnam has discreetly fortified several of its islands in the disputed South China Sea with new mobile rocket launchers. These launchers are capable of striking China's runways and military installations across the vital trade route. While Vietnam has denied the development, it is likely to raise the tensions with Beijing claiming most of the South China Sea. Russia has accused Ukraine of trying to carry out armed incursions into Crimea. It said that 2 attempted incursions had taken place over the weekend. Russia had annexed Crimea in 2014 after an unrecognized referendum. President Vladimir Putin vowed further security measures in response to Ukraine's criminal acts. Ukraine's president, however, described the accusations as preposterous. US airliner Delta on Wednesday cancelled more flights for the third day in a row. 300 flights were cancelled yesterday after a power outage hit its computer systems on Monday. However, the company has forecast a return to normal operations later this afternoon. The airline is still investigating the cause of the power outage and has lost hundreds of millions of dollars due to this technical snag. And now news from the Rio Olympic Games. Well, day 5 turned out to be a mixed day for India as women archers were on target in the individual events, while boxer Manoj Kumar also scripted a triumph of the underdog in the boxing ring as India bounced back from the disappointment of star shooter Jeetu Rai's barren Olympic campaign for the 5th day. Now, former Commonwealth Games gold medalist Manoj Kumar stunned ex-Olympic bronze medalist Ivalas Petrodos in a fiercely contested opening bout to enter the pre-quarterfinals of the Rio Games. Manoj prevailed 2-1 in the hard-fought battle, and now he will next face 5th seed Uzbek Gaban Nazarov in the pre-quarters that are scheduled for Sunday. Meanwhile, Indian archers Bombela Devi and Deepika Kumari advanced to the pre-quarterfinals of the women's individual recurve event. Competing in her third Olympics, Bombela dished out a dominating show to get the better of Chinese Taipei's Ling Xin Chia 6-2 in the elimination round. Deepika Kumari also put up an excellent show as she comprehensively defeated Italy's Santori Quindalania 6-2 in the event. Meanwhile, in hockey, Indian women's hockey team were thrashed by Australia 1-6 in their third outing. India were already 0-2 down at the half-time, and in the second half also Australia upped their tempo to score 4 more goals. Anuradha Devi scored the consolation goal for India in the final minutes. The women's team is now yet to win a match, having drawn 2-2 with Japan in their opening game and then losing 0-3 to Great Britain. Meanwhile, marksmen Jeetu Rai and Prakash Nanjappa crashed out of the 50 meters pistol men's event in the qualification round. Jeetu Rai finished 12th with a total score of 554, while Nanjappa finished 25th with a total score of 547. And in further disappointment for India, India's challenge in judo also ended as Avtar Singh lost in the men's 90-kilogram round of 32 against Popule Mizenga of the refugee Olympic team. Avtar Singh was the lone Indian in the competition and the first to qualify for the Olympics since 2004. Well, let's take a look at some more events that made headlines at the Rio Games. Katie Ledecky guided the United States to gold in the women's 4x200-meter freestyle relay final. The quartet of Alison Schmidt, Leah Smith, Maya Dirado and Ledecky won in a time of 7 minutes 43.03 seconds, with Australia second and Canada third. Meanwhile, British duo Jack Logger and Chris Mers stunned China to claim Britain's first ever Olympic diving title with a men's synchronized 3-meter springboard. The pair scored a total of 454.32 to end China's hopes of a clean sweep of the diving goals at the Games. Meanwhile, South Korea's Jing Jeon-oh claimed his third consecutive Olympic gold medal in the men's 50-meter pistol event on Wednesday. Vietnam took the silver, while North Korea won the bronze. Meanwhile, Kazakhstan's Nijat Rahimov lifted a clean and jerk world record to win Olympic men's 77-kilogram weightlifting gold in Rio. Rahimov's final lift of 214 kilograms gave him a total of 379 kilograms, breaking the 15-year-old record. China's Liu Xianzhou took the silver, while Egypt's Mohammed Mahmoud won the bronze. Now let's take a look at the overall medals tally on day 5. US tops the list with 32 medals. That includes 11 gold, 11 silver and 10 bronze. China takes the second spot with 23 medals, while Japan is at the third spot with 6 gold medals. Let's quickly get to some cricket news. West Indies made a strong comeback on day 2 of the third test against India in Trinidad on Wednesday. Hosts West Indies responded strongly to India's first innings effort, reaching 107 for 1 at the close of play to trail by 246 runs. Now, Craig Braithwaite and Darren Bravo came up with a spirited batting effort to give their team a promising start. Earlier, India suffered a late batting collapse, allowing the West Indies to sneak back into the contest after R. Ashwin and Ridhiman Saha struck fighting centuries on day 2. Well, India lost their last 5 wickets for just 37 runs to be 353 all out in the second session. The visitors looked set for a much bigger total when Ashwin and Saha were at the crease. But Saha's dismissal not only ended a marathon 213-run partnership, but it also triggered a batting collapse.
Well, Johnson off the mark.
Well, that's all in this edition of news. Do stay tuned. Coming up ahead, Parliament news in both Hindi and English. Thanks for watching.